All right, my friends, if I hit all the right buttons, we are live again on Talk Power BI for another Friday, another episode. If I hit all the right buttons, we are live again on Talk Power BI. Okay, got that. Let's see who's on. So who's on with me on the phone? So these are members of the Learn Power BI family. I have Geert, Scott, Steve, and one other person joining. Thank you so much for being here. If you are joining me on YouTube, put in a hello. Tell me where you're watching us from, where you're joining us from. I love hearing that. And we have some, the usual suspects, some of them. Jen Nabel is here. Mark is here from Dallas. Nolly Booker, good to see you again. Hello from Qatar. And Tara Prasad says hello. And Zach, good to have you joining on the phone. Thank you, my friend. Geert is both on YouTube as well. It says hello from Denmark. Hey, Geert. All right, great. And we got a few other joining on the phone. Jeff Castman is here. Terry says hi. All right, so folks, yeah, if you're joining, drop in a hi. I'll check back with you. So I'm gonna kick things off, and so today, let's see kind of what was on the agenda a little bit. First thing, I just wanted to, now I have been sharing announcements for Real Power BI, and I just wanted to go over that really quickly, and then I'll share the link for that. So Real Power BI, this would be the third time we are formally running it, and the idea is really simple. Oops. Ignore that. Let's say this one. So the idea with Real Power BI is we just bring in a real business user with a real business problem, and we solve that in a class setting. And well, we don't kind of charge them for that. They do pay in a sense by bringing in their data set and bringing in their time. And of course, so the difference this time is that earlier we would only select one project, and we would all kind of focus on that. This time I've decided to run it differently, where we are soliciting projects, and we would select a few and match them up with students in a class, and run that way. Now, of course, when I say students, most of these are Power BI professionals, right? I mean, they're just students in my course, but a lot of them have been in the program for a long time. They have been using Power BI for a long time, and right. So yeah, and of course, they're still gonna have a lot of direct supervision and guidance from me. So for the students, I will talk about this. This is targeted. We're trying this for the pro level members, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, so where is the link? Oh, here is the link. So I'll put this in the chat window. So this has both the video kind of explaining it, and so Real Power BI. So I'll put that up there, and I'm really excited to say that we have 3 people who have already submitted projects. So I wanted to put their names so I can give a shout out to them. Maybe we'll do that. I could see in the survey that there's a lot of interest. There are actually 38 people who kind of started the survey, but it does have a few questions. So if you haven't completed it yet, if you're through that, just, you have time. I think we're going to go to about the February 25th, so 10 more days. I think this one has a timer as well. Look at me, I'm so proud of myself. So February 25th to get all the submissions in, and then just, look at them and kind of review them and talk to these people if we need to, and then kick it off in March, match it with the students and stuff. So that's the plan, right? So if you're a business user and you've been thinking of, kind of getting started on Power BI, maybe you're a small business, or you're like a small team, a business team inside a large organization, doesn't really matter. We don't care. We don't judge. Then just go in there and say, tell us about what your idea is. Tell us about which project you would be bringing in. Now, another thing which this allows us to do is, since we're matching up students directly with these people, is earlier a requirement for real Power BI was that you had to use a public data set, because I would do it live in front of the class, but now you'd be doing a private setting. So yeah, you can bring in your data and share with them. We'll put some kind of agreement in place on both sides. So yeah, business users, we're certainly looking for your projects if you believe in this idea. And again, this is bigger than just Power BI, right? I mean, you're supporting this community, you're supporting their journey forward, and of course, they're gonna help you in a big way as well. So watch the video, submit your projects, talk to the students really quick. So I've been also working on trying to explain. I mean, in my mind, it's like really simple, but maybe I haven't communicated effectively. That what is the structure? What's pro level and all that? And it's really, really simple in my mind. So there's Learn Power BI, which is our flagship product. That's where everybody starts, right? That's the main course. So let me go through some of this stuff, and I'm going to share this in the class. I don't think I have yet, and really, even before I talk about kind of what our structure is, how do I go back? Okay, there we go. There are two key beliefs that form kind of the base, right? They're the bedrock of any of these programs. Frankly, I also structured my YouTube engagement that way, right? So one is that I believe in community. And you see that in YouTube, in Learn Power BI, Pro Plus, anything that I run is just at a different level. So I believe in connections. I believe that we are stronger together. So it's just at a different level. I mean, Pro Plus, of course, that's the 6 figures program. I'll talk about that. I'm trying to build a really tight-knit community, right? So, it's just at a different level. And the other piece is, come on, maybe now, learning by doing, right? So, and again, you see it here, even on YouTube, I say, guys, apply it, right? You're going to get stuck, you're going to fail, and bring it to Talk Power BI. That's why I go live. And of course, we do that in the class. There are lots of opportunities for that. I call it agile learning. We do that in the Pro and the Pro Plus. So that's that. Learn Power BI is basically that 20%, right? Oh, you've heard me talk about this. It's that core 20% concepts which give you the big size results, 80% of the results. That's where you want to start. Where else would you start? And also, I realized that this is really hard to glean together by Google and YouTube, right? And Power BI, I believe, is you can't learn it through Google and YouTube because not starting out, So because you got to get the core concepts. Well, you can, but it's going to take you a much longer time. So that's where the Learn Power BI course kind of shortcuts your journey. So this is great. You get 80% of the results, but what about the rest of the journey? And that is where the Pro, ignore all this stuff. So Learn Power BI, yeah, it's got course plus community. It's got some other cool stuff. And the Pro kind of continues that journey, right? So, and that one is a journey because we're all walking on it. I'm still on it. So that way it's a membership and so forth. I wouldn't go through all these slides. And the Pro Plus is my latest effort, which goes beyond Power BI because I realized that tech isn't enough. You need more for real success. And of course, it was kind of a little scary to begin with, but the it's feedback has been good. So in that program, I feel good that I get to talk about not just that outer success, get that professional success, set up a successful career, a business, whatever you're trying to do, but also talk about my other journey, which has been the inner success. And to let you know a secret, I think it's inside out. I mean, it's success starts inside, and then it gets reflected outside. Probably that makes no sense at all. Anyway, all right. So that's kind of everything that's going on. Just wanted to give you a quick update. Again, business users, submit your project for Real Power BI. If you are at pro level inside the course, then you can apply it in there. Now, I have been getting some questions. So if you're enrolled but not at pro level, we'll be sharing information this Monday, February 18th about the options there. If you're not enrolled, I really don't think that it'll be it wouldn't make sense for you to just join the program and jump right into this, because again, it's kind of a structured thing. So we would invite you to join the Learn Power BI program at the next opportunity. But if you're brand new, I don't think Pro is going to be. If you're already in the program, then we would love to see you inside the Pro and be a part of this. And we'll share that on Monday, February 18th. Yes. All right. I think I got through all of that. So let me check in, see what others are saying. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yep. The chat is awesome. My great Birdville School District. Oh, is that where you work? I was like, oh, he's calling in. Mike's calling in from the Birdville School District. I suppose you work there. That's great. We have two folks. I think Elizabeth and Loretta Sue, who are both in the education sector. One is with college, another is with school district, if got the names right. So yeah, that's great. Power BI is, everybody's got data. Schools certainly have data, so that's great. Gene says hello from San Francisco. Oh, Kirill is here. So Kirill was a special guest last week. If you guys didn't catch that, then you can do so on my channel. I'll point that out. Sam is here. Oh, I think your tagline changed. So it's Sam Analytics. I like it. Hello from Berlin. Esprit says hi from Austin. Christopher says hello from Olata, Washington. Woo! Always good to see you. Mike Charlton says, okay, got it. Director of Enterprise Solutions. Great. So talk Power BI. And folks, we're getting close to our 50th episode. So hey, let me just get a shout out from a few of you. I don't know if you have folks here participated in a Talk Power BI Marathon, and if you have, or if you know about what that is, Talk Power BI Marathon, and if this count is right, I think it is. We're like 4 away from the 50th episode. So for 50th, I'm like, I want to do something big. I couldn't think of anything bigger than Talk Power BI Marathon. So if you would like that, then let me know. All right, just say, yay, Talk Power BI, I don't know, it's yay, marathon, or yes, I love marathon, something like that. Let me know. Oh, gosh, so we had to take one video down, so officially maybe we're at 45. Talk Power BI Marathon, if I can find it, is crazy. So I'm looking for like an 8-hour live. Oh, I don't know why it's not there. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so that is Talk Power BI Marathon. We go live all day, and we do one-on-one calls. So everybody has like a book slot. You call in, you talk to me, and yeah, we just focus on kind of one person at a time. And okay, all right. So yeah. Okay, Gene is like ready. All right, Jen is sure. Okay, so I can think of anything else. So that's what we're planning, unless something. So I'm also kind of focused on the what I call the Pro Plus. That's the 6 figures Power BI professional program. So I'll have to balance it with that, but we'll go with that. All right. So I think that's it. Oh, we have some other stuff cooking, which was actually, boy, I mean, I'm so jazzed about it. Which is, so we have Learn Power BI, and so guys, I'm gonna share something. This is I don't know if this is gonna be like a little tangent, but yesterday I was working with my mindset coach. All right, it's like the modern age therapist. All right, so I was working with a mindset coach, and she talked about gosh, what was I don't know. I was in some kind of a visualization exercise, so I closed my eyes, and she was guiding me through that. I'm like, okay, what do you see? What do you see? And what I saw was, I saw that, I'm always about community, but, I saw myself as this huge dot in the middle, and all these dots, all the other people that I connect. And I talked about that, right? I mean, 500 plus students in the course, 20, getting close to 20,000 subscribers. I checked the number, like 150,000 people have viewed my videos. So lots of people who are connected, right? But then I realized that, and my vision had always been to kind of, to not only see me connected to all of these, but have these people kind of interconnect, you know? So when I was in the visualization exercise, I realized that there is a slight problem, which is my dot is too big. You know, I'm at the center of all of things. And it was kind of clear to me in a whole new way that I need to make that dot smaller. And and I and I try to find out like why is that the case. And this is gonna sound a little weird, but for the first time, I really felt that I'm not doing what I'm doing. I'm just a channel. I'm just a medium. Now I've heard other great people talk about that, you know, who have done great things in life, and they like, oh yeah, I'm just a channel, right? And right, so I'm just, yeah, you're just channeling something bigger, a higher power, whatever, right? And I felt that, and I felt like by making my dot big, I'm absorbing too much of that energy instead of passing it on, right? I'm not being a good channel. So the new goal is for my dot to be smaller, much smaller, maybe, maybe, right? And so two of the ideas that we're going to be working towards is one is, and again, I can only do so much. So that's the idea about making my dot smaller. So Learn Power BI mentorship. So now we have 500 plus students in the program. It's been going on for 2 years now. So what we're going to ask some folks is like, hey, are you going to be open to mentoring new folks who are just joining? So this is going to be one-on-one inside the Learn Power BI program, right? And I'm like, you know, when I thought of that, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be like so awesome because I can think about the new members. And again, you always learn by doing. So even the mentors are like learning a whole lot, you know, kind of from the experience. And then, so this is inside the Learn Power BI program. And then we're going to do Learn Power BI ambassadors. So this is going to be kind of for the community, right? So this is inside the Learn Power BI program, which is about, you know, 500 plus students, right? So smaller community, but then we have, you know, close to 20K subscribers on YouTube, kind of followers, you know, so let's say followers, right? So ambassadors can kind of help me, you know, kind of, you know, help these people. Yeah, and we have a guinea pig. So Steve, I'll announce. I don't know if we need to talk about this, but yeah, we're gonna try this experiment with Steve. First of all, you've seen him moderate the calls here, so you're gonna see him pop up on on the YouTube chats and stuff. Okay, last update. How's the time? Okay, about 15 minutes, so that's good because I did want to jump into your Power BI questions. Now, if you have let's see, sounds great. Excel is Excel is fun. Yeah, Mike Irvin. I don't know how that came up, but yeah, that guy is amazing. He's on my featured channels. Check him out. Well, not that he needs to be featured by me. He's well, yeah. I mean, but he's amazing, you know. So actually, he had dropped by the other day, and we gotta hang out. Amazing person. I didn't get a selfie. I kicked myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I had a chance to get a selfie with Excel is fun, Mike Gervin, and I didn't. So that was a bummer. All right, cool. All right, awesome. Okay, best big dot ever. Yeah, I know it's all right, but I really think that I can be more effective by reduce that dot. All right. So hey, folks, we're here to talk Power BI. So let's go on the phone first. So what we do is we usually rotate. We go on the phone, and then we're gonna look through the YouTube chat, and later we're gonna also open the phone lines on YouTube. Oh, by the way, okay, I did say last announcement, but we're thinking of other things, and you know, I don't know how crazy of an idea it is, but you know, I was thinking of giving away my ebook on the Stock Power BI. So we'll do that every week. And here's the exciting part. Here's the really exciting part. So if you do win the ebook, you get entered for a raffle for a seat on my course. And I don't know, right? So it's just an idea right now. Excuse me. And of course, guys, we'll be doing this too. We'll be running kind of need-based scholarships as well. So I know people are sometimes following me from different countries, and sometimes the exchange rate doesn't make sense or doesn't matter. I mean, you could be right here in the U.S., but you're going through some kind of financial hardship, and you just can't do it. I mean, you check all the boxes, you're committed, and you're like, yep, I'm ready for this. And I know this is going to help me. So we're going to do some kind of need-based scholarships for that. So that's coming soon. But yeah, let's go to Power BI. So let's check in on the phone. Who do we have? We have Della. Hey, Della. Good to see you here. Geert is here. Heather, Jeff, Scott, Steve, Zach. So you guys get first dibs. First dibs. If you have a Power BI question, or I don't know, maybe a non-Power BI question or comment thought as well, go ahead and ask.
Avi, it's Steve.
Hey, Steve.
I have a DAX question that may or may not be interesting to the rest of the group.
Okay.
So I will defer to
Yeah.
other people, but if we have time later, we can get to it.
Okay. All right. Let's see what your question is.
Well, okay. I'm going to paste the code into the YouTube chat.
All right.
It kind of looks a little funky there, but what I was working on a. Do you see it? Or it may be too many characters.
Yeah. Why don't you put it in the GoToMeeting chat, and then I'll put it up on my Word document and see how it works.
Let's see here.
Morning.
Okay, it's there.
Yep, got it. I think.
And I really haven't done my homework on this. I could probably figure it out if I try.
That's okay. We can maybe do it together. Okay, let's see. Ooh, nice. Let's see if we can do. So, folks, if you haven't used, sorry, just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
If you haven't used DAX Formatter, please do. So I was watching Marco Russo's one of the videos, and he looks at a formula. He's like, "That's not a formula, or that's not a measure. That's not DAX." Yeah, he said it's not DAX until you like format it nice. You know, imagine all of this in one line. He's like, "No, I'm not even gonna look at it. That's not DAX." All right, cool. So let's. Do we need that? All right, so why don't you walk us through?
Okay, I'll tell you sort of the background on this. This came from a Marco Russo article.
Oh, okay.
On SQLBI.
Yeah.
About time intelligence with custom calendar, 445 calendar, that type of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's very appropriate for what I'm doing. So I thought, I'm going to try to implement this and try to understand it. Now, it wasn't difficult to implement because I simply copied his code and used it.
That's okay. Perfect.
But it was good. And I even, I modified it a little bit for things that he hadn't included. So that was good.
Yeah.
But I just was trying to understand the use of the contains function and what he's got. I think in the calendar he's got there's sort of mentions in the article that you need to have the corresponding day of the prior year as a field in the calendar, like the year-over-year date.
Okay.
And just trying to.
Yeah. So what is this measure trying to calculate? Like what would
this would be essentially prior year sales.
Yeah.
So say if you had sales for this year and you wanted the corresponding sales for the same day last year.
Yeah.
But you wanted to do it in such a way, like I can do non-elegant one that says like, minus 364 days, that type of thing. But I don't like that hard-coded number in there. So
Yeah.
what he's doing here is, he's going back a year, shifting the calendar back a year
Yeah.
with the values, blah, 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 -1. Then,
Yeah.
what, so something is zeroing in on that day. And that's going to be the contains values that code that's after the double ampersand.
Oh, got it.
Is got to have to say, okay, in that date table that's going back a year,
Yeah.
how do I get to that corresponding day, and then do the sum?
Yep. That's perfect. What? Gosh, what is that window just popped? Oh, that's Kindle or something. Yeah, that's great. So I'll admit I haven't used contains, but it seems pretty intuitive. Let's just look it up before I start talking. So it says returns true values for all returns true values for all referred columns exist or contain those columns. Otherwise, otherwise it could function. It's not what I expected. I somehow was thinking intersect, I think. Contains tables. So any DAX returns a table data, column name, the name of an existing column. So you say, seems like returns. So it seems it goes through that table and then checks in the column. What does it return? Does it return a table? No, it's just returns true or false. Okay, got it. Okay. Hey, this is a good one. I like it. Let's bring up, try to see if we can do like a calendar table. I'm thinking what's the easiest way we can do that. Or how about this? Why don't you share the 445 calendar you have?
Sure.
And or the PBIX file or something like that.
I could send you the file if you wanted it.
Yeah, great. And then we'll pick it up and walk through this.
Okay, we'll get back to this.
Okay, awesome. So we'll pen that, folks, and let's switch over to YouTube, and let's see, there are a few questions, comments here, and I know sometimes you guys kind of help each other out, and I always love that. That's reduces the size of my dot. Okay, what's happening here? It's not happy with me. Okay, sorry, I had to reload the chat window here. Okay, and if I come back over here, okay, got it. Let's see. So I'm gonna do that really quick. 901 Steve will come back to it. Okay, perfect. Custom calendar 445 prior year sales. That's way too big. Okay, let's see if there's anything interesting. Any thoughts on February update? I actually haven't checked it out. There was like a pre-announcement to the MVP stuff, but that one didn't have anything that interesting that I remember. But yeah, so I haven't checked that out. I have a map question if you have time. I have a zip code study that shows sales by zip code. I like that one. Also want to show the store as a dot on the map. Any ideas on how to show that? Yeah, don't worry about typos. I have a client that does not have Office 365. Is there any way for me to securely share PowerBIPro reports created for them? Yeah, so Benjamin, that one is easy. Let's say 0930. Let's do Benjamin share reports with users without Office 365. You don't need 365 at all. You do need Power BI Pro. And that one is, what is it? $9.99, $9, something like that. Let's say $10 a month. So you would need that. Now there are more expensive solutions. You could go for embedded. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but just mention it. You would that's the easiest path would be Power BI Pro. There is one other option if you're like, nope, can't do that, can't pay due to some reason. I mean, it's well worth it. But another option would be to send them the Power BI desktop file, PBIX. Now, of course, this requires them to download and install the free Power BI desktop. So it's free, but and there are other challenges with that. If you heard me talk about it, I always say, imagine if you were sharing video. Who sends around MP4 files anymore? Nobody does. Nobody does. You put it somewhere and say, hey, here's my video, watch it, right? So that's what we should do with Power BI as well. Lots of advantages to going Power BI Pro or having a server route. So those would be the ones that I think of. Oh gosh, I didn't read the next one. Their ultimate goal is to have the dashboards that create shared on-prem SharePoint. Ooh, so SharePoint can embed Power BI reports. They can do that. There is like what is it called? Boy, I haven't used SharePoint since I left Microsoft. Well, kind of. A control, a custom something. I don't know what it's called, like a widget. Power there's I'm gonna call it a widget. I think they call it something else, but there's a Power BI widget which lets you just embed it in there, and your credentials are passed, automatically passed into Power BI. So ultimately, once they do have that set up, then it works well. Although I've heard some complaints that it actually didn't work well. There was, I don't know, it seemed a little glitchy. Now, maybe out of date. So what they ended up doing, another option is that you don't embed it, but instead just link. So you use it as like a, kind of an intranet kind of a page, and you just link to Power BI, direct link to Power BI reports. So you would just say, hey, for for this report go here, for this report go here. Now, one advantage of that, I love that one, is you can use URL parameters to pass options, which allows you use one report for multiple audiences, kind of. So imagine there is a sales report. So you would say, hey folks, click here for the worldwide sales report, and it links to report 1, right? And you say, hey, for North America, click here, and for LATAM, click here. For Asia Pacific, click here. For EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Asia, click here. Let's do. So these would be links, but they all link to the same report. I love doing this. So this one is, kind of URL. And this one you can have, URL question mark, I don't know, like region equals NA. And so you get the idea, right? So you would say region equals that so it's the same report, so that is a cool option too. All right, so Benjamin, hopefully that helped. We got the file from Steve. Oh, WebPart, yes, WebPart. Thank you. Okay, there are a few questions. Let's see, is there any good comments that I can cross-filter? Nope. Yeah, you can get Power BI Pro. It's a separate license. You don't need Office 365 at all. I really hope that that information kind of gets around. I mean, if people are thinking that they need Office 365 to use Power BI, that's unfortunate because that's going to keep a lot of people away from that. I mean, Microsoft somehow tends to give off this vibe. Some other tools do work this way as well, where it's like either you're all in or you're out, right? I mean, if you and frankly, so we evaluated. So for our pro level that I talked about, right? So we were talking about this pro level. So for Learn Power BI, mostly we use our Facebook group for the community. We have a discussion forum inside the course as well, but mostly we use the Facebook group, and we wanted to try something different for Pro to again bring them together at a deeper level. So actually, we're using it for both Pro and Pro Plus, and we evaluated using Microsoft Teams, but it was kind of hard to bring people outside of the ecosystem in there. So we use Slack, but Power BI, yeah, you definitely don't need Office 365. Need 365. Maybe I'll bring up my Office page and come and kind of show that really quick under the license there. Ooh, I like this question. Yeah, Alan answered that as well. I have a pro license and use Office 2010. Somebody else said they used iframe. I think the advantage of the web part is that it passes the credentials in. I'm not sure if iframe would do that, or iframe, if you are, God forbid, using this with publish to web. Boy, that's publish to web makes it public, right? It's out in the public domain. It's Googleable. Yeah. So iframe, I'm not sure. Just if you're using it to publish to web, just be aware that does make it public. Any other good discussion? Weren't using web part yet. Got it. Needs to be secure. All right. Steve has a file. Let's see if we can pick up. I saw something else there from Prudwy, it seems. Okay, so we got. Yeah, so Sam, I think is on the right one. So Benjamin, we help. Thomas Small. Hey, Thomas, if you would like to hang on, what I would like you to do is maybe show you something. So let's line up these questions. So we'll say Thomas Mall is asking about Power BI maps. So we'll do that, and we may have you call in. So I'll show you something, and then we'll have you call in. So again, we kind of alternate one from the. So let's and then we have Prudvi. I'm gonna say Prudvi has this excellent question. Is a future in Power BI? I'm gonna say anything right now until we can address it fully. All right, so we'll any feature in Power BI. Great question. Good question. We should be asking those questions. All right, so let's go to Steve and grab his file. So Steve, I imagine that the formula is working, right? We're just trying to kind of understand.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
It works.
Okay.
You just want to understand what it's doing.
Yep.
I don't sort of like the black hole approach where you just
I totally get it. So yeah, I mean, you should kind of recognize that means that you are just at the next level, and people are starting out. They are perfectly comfortable with the black hole. In fact, they don't want to go anywhere near that, and that's okay.
Black box, I should say.
Black box, yeah, okay. And once you kind of go beyond that, then you're like, no, I wanna see. So often when I'm like sitting down with a client or helping a student, and usually with a client, and something is not working, And if they're like four people in the room or whatever on the call or something, they start throwing these random ideas like, oh, what if you did this? What if you changed this filter? And I'm like, guys, whoa, let's first understand why it's not working. I mean, so yeah, I never like that approach. Like, oh, let's try this, let's try that. Oh, can we add a calculate? Can we use filter? Can we use some X instead of some? So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Oh.
definitely like kind of understanding it first. So we'll go step by step, and so folks, you see we have quite a few files in the Talk Power BI already for 2019. Of course, there's a whole list of files going all the way back to 2017. Wow, it's been that long? I guess so. And if you need any of those now or prior call, you can just go to talkpowerbi.com and you'll get access to that. All right, so I wanted to see the custom calendar. So this is the ISO calendar, right? Okay, great.
Yeah, that's the model that's based on the ISO calendar. You'll see the calendar itself in the query editor.
Okay.
If you wanted to just sort of see if you want to see the structure of the calendar, you need to go in there.
Is it built in the query editor, or is it connecting to something? If it's connecting to something, it might not.
No, there was again, this was a function that I downloaded from somewhere.
Yeah.
That built the ISO calendar.
Okay. And is the calendar in Power Pivot kind of the model as well?
Yeah,
this is
the dates tab. The dates tab.
Got it. So I think I might kind of stick here. All right. So let's say, let me see. So where in this, is there a place where you're showing kind of prior year number? Is it on this sheet or some other sheet?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but it's
maybe. Hold on.
It would be column F would be the current year.
Okay, so you do have a keyboard and mouse to point me.
All right, so this is the current year. That would be like the 12/31, and this would be the corresponding day of the prior year.
Got it. So folks, it's time to learn some racetrack lingo. So Steve works at a racetrack, horse racing and other stuff. So handle is essentially sales, right?
Sales.
Yeah.
Sales.
Yeah. So handle
normal people.
Is sales. Got it. So CY is current year, PY is prior year. Perfect. Got it. Awesome. So let's go from there. So whenever I'm debugging or trying to understand a measure, I always like zero in on a single cell. And the rules for this. So, Steve, I'm going to speak a little bit to the audience as well. I know you have it down. So this is covered inside the course as well, but some pieces are also on my channel. And thanks to Marianne on our team, the good stuff is now at the top. Earlier it was like hidden, and then she's like, Avi, what are you doing? So Learn Power BI has right up top. It has all the good stuff. This is the start with the tutorial. It's a great place to start. Ultimate calendar, what can I say? It's ultimate. No, just kidding. Data modeling, I believe in that. And this one is DAX, and the rule is I can, because if I can figure it out, you can too. And I can stands for incoming filter context, C is calculate, A is applied relationships, and N is do the numbers, right? So that's the 4 steps in calculation of anything. So what I do is I let's focus in on kind of this cell or these two. Let's focus in on those. I'm just gonna take a screenshot and go with, and I might simplify the scenario a little bit. So we're kind of focusing on these. How come you're not at school? Starts late.
Did you get an email from Hearts for Doxies?
No.
Mom did.
Okay. Hey, I'm live on YouTube. You want to say hi?
No.
Okay. School is starting late today. All right. So we got. Let's put that over here. We'll say 9:21 and 9:40 maybe. 9:40. And I'm gonna come back here And so we're focusing on that. And the first step that I'll do is like, what are the incoming filters? So the incoming filters, you look at rows, columns, and all the filters, any slicers over there. So we have this one, ISO year number is 2019. Future date is past, guess is RT. I'm going to ignore that for now. But I think the main one, maybe we can just focus on this one for now. 12/31/2018. Got it. So let's ignore the rest, and it says 12/31/2018. And let's go back to this guy, and let's see if we can find that date. Oh, more scrolling. Should I filter? 12/31/2018. Okay, so we got that date, so it's filtering based on that. Let's go to our formula. So the formula says if has one value date ISO year. Let's go back to that. ISO year, right? ISO year, yep. So it does have one value, it's just 2019, so we're good there. Then go ahead and calculate sum of sales amount. All right, that's easy, but then do this. So this is the heart of that, so let's focus on this. So now it says filter all dates. So first of all is right away going to clear the filter. So what we're going to do is keep this one with us, and then try to kind of step through. So the incoming filter context was this. It was filter to one row, but then filter is starting to do its work, and filter is filter X. Filter is just like an X function. So it's going to iterate, right? And it's going to iterate over what? It's going to iterate over all dates. So filter steps in, and it clears filters on this. And now it's going to go date by date. And for each row, what does it check for? It's checking date year number is ISO year number -1. Okay, so let's kind of go back in, and it's doing it row by row, but just for my sake, I'm gonna filter 2018. We knew that incoming filter ISO year number was 2019, so it's gonna be 2018. So now it's looking at you can see kind of 364 rows. And again, guys, this is like a 445 calendar. It's not really a regular calendar, but it's working so far. And then it says, and I want you to check as you go row by row. Look at this table. Man, I really think that there's a simpler way to do this. Maybe I don't know. Maybe like an intersect or something would make sense. Intersect. Yeah, because it's yeah. Sam, maybe. What do you think? If do you think an intersect can be here? I would have an easier time understanding it. But anyway, let's step through that. So from what I understood, contains does is it checks this table. Let's go back to the intersect. Oh, sorry, not intersect. Contains. All right, got it. So it says go to this table. If for all referred columns, values for, okay, got it. So it says in this column, did you find this value? So go to this table, in this column, did you find this value? Okay, got it. So now it's saying, give me the values of dates, ISO, year, day, number. Got it. So that is gonna give me ISO, year, day, number. Okay, got it. So it's going row by row, but when it calls values, I'm pretty sure it's referring. Okay, got it. For values, so their number, but then go to this column and yeah. So uh, I think the key here is that I feel that date ISO year number. Date ISO year number. So ISO year number, every column has, let's go back here. ISO year day number. That right? So it's basically saying go to the prior year, but then find me the matching year day number. Um, I mean, I kind of logically get it, but the way it's doing it is goes to the full table, and it says only give me those where the year day number matches what was kind of coming in. Oh gosh, year day number, value. Yeah, I'll say I'm not sure. I feel like it. Uh, yeah, I mean, so Steve, I don't. I'll say I'm not really able to understand the mechanism here. Like I don't know. I know how filter works. Like how is it evaluating value? Is it value that returns a single scalar value? A single scalar value. How is that gonna work? So you say filter all dates. Go row by row. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back to you on
Yeah.
this. I mean,
Yeah, that's good. I get that conceptually what it's doing. It's matching up that
yeah,
ISO day number. I get that, and I think
yeah,
there are other ways to write this.
yeah, yeah. I
Get
feel
that
that.
that may be more intuitive.
I know. I'm leaning towards that. Let's see. What did we have for uh for library? What do we have in a book for? We covered the. Let's do. Okay, let's see how we had covered it in our lessons. Dedications. Where is the table of contents? Wow. Oh, maybe there isn't. Okay, so let's go here and YouTube for data, new DAX functions, advanced calculated, nope, custom calendars. Here we go. Sales per day in prior period. Oh wow. Prior period sales per day. Calculate filter all. Same. Max period ID is 1. Year over year. There we go.
Yeah.
You say all period. Oh, okay, but that's yeah. So this one is like only works for like a month. That one is elegant because it doesn't care what the time frame you're showing is. It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a whole year or a quarter. That formula would still work. So I see. I mean, that formula is certainly superior to what we had over here. Year to date, yeah. So this one is a kind of a simpler version. So this one, we're just saying, hey, just go minus 12 in the period ID. But since we're using periods, period is essentially a month. So it's going to work at a month level. But if you change this to show weeks, then this is going to stop working. So I mean, I definitely see the value in this. Cool. Hey, maybe I'll post about that, share about that. So cool. I'll dive into contains. I mean, I kind of get it, but yeah, I'm not like filter. I know inside out. I mean, I know exactly kind of how filter works, and what I'm having trouble with is understanding like value. It's a single scalar, you know. So so it's being I really feel that contains is also an X function. I really wish they would just put the X when it was an X function to kind of know them. And you know, so it has that structure. All X functions have like go in a table, do this, right? Go in a table, do this. So it feels like an X function. And if it is, then what it's doing is it's stepping through this table one by one, and then the value will be whatever it's iterating through. But yeah, but so that's what it feels like, but I'm not 100% sure. So cool. So hey, that was a good one, and you know, I definitely enjoyed kind of exploring it, and yeah, we'll continue kind of offline on this. Thanks for bringing that
Okay,
up.
yeah,
That's great.
that's fine. And then that article that he wrote might explain it, but I just didn't read the whole thing
Yeah,
in detail.
yeah, I kind of love finding functions which are essentially X functions, but they don't have the X in them.
Yeah,
I think top N is another one. So there is filter, there is top N, and now to the indication that I'm getting is contains as well. You know, I'll make a note of that. So X functions, and these are like what is the term when you're a spy and you're hiding? Is it incognito, or is it something else? Incognito.
Yeah, well, that's like a incognito mode in Chrome. If you don't want anybody to see what you're doing.
Yeah, so these guys are like, you know, I don't want you to, I don't know. So top N is one. Filtered, of course, is an X function. Top N, and then I think contains is an X function. Cool. Yeah, if I put that puzzle together, it'll take a lot more sense. Awesome. Let's see if there are any new questions on YouTube. How do I do that? I have to bring up
Avi,
chat.
on YouTube, I did see a question from let's see here, from Geert. It had to do with a bookmark from a previous session.
So Geert, check in on the phone if you wanna with me. Yeah, what's so last time I remember talking about bookmarks, and we discovered something cool. The name of the bookmarks, what's the latest? What is this? See if you can unmute yourself and talk.
I'm here.
Hi. So tell me what's the latest on the bookmarks.
Our good guy Sam Analytics mentioned in the chat that he had a solution for that, because what we found out was that you could make a view of your bookmarks, and then in the bottom of the page you could see the bookmark and you could page through them. But I would like it to be a standard function that if you have chosen a bookmark, you can see from the page where which bookmark you have chosen.
Yeah, so the closest we got there was that Power BI, if you go in view mode, it shows the name of the bookmark. Is there any other trick besides that?
Yeah, but I don't know. I just noticed that Sam Analytics said that we will be able to do what we asked for. But I don't know if it's the same function that he mentioned.
Yeah. So well, you know, yeah, that's so Sam. Yeah, if you have more, we would love to hear. Cool. So we'll wait for Sam to kind of chime in, and maybe I'll bring up. What did we talk about? Bookmarks. I'll bring that up really quick. Okay, cool. So thanks, Gary. Yeah, if you hear back from Sam, I'll bring up bookmarks just to kind of get everybody on the
Yeah.
same page, and we'll see what we can find. Okay. All right, let's try this one. So, Prithvi says, Avi, is there future in Power BI? Because my friends say there's much coding involved. So does Power BI developers have value? Well, so I'll give you the straight truth, my friend. I think, so you're asking from a very personal perspective, like, should I get into Power BI? Well, so Power BI, as far as from the tech person goes, right, as somebody kind of stepping in that, hey, I'm going to train myself in Power BI, it's going to go the way that all technologies go. It's going to be commoditized, right? So, yeah, so I see that in kind of my metrics. And hey, guys, I mean, we live in a global world now, right? The barrier to entry. So what stops something from being commoditized? The barrier to entry is high, right? So for somebody to kind of get in, if the barrier to entry is high, not many people are going to get in, right? But the barrier to entry to Power BI, it's zero, right? I mean, it's you know, there's lots of free training out there, and hey, I mean, I do think you get farther faster with kind of a structured training course, but you know, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of free training, and the tool itself is free. So barrier to entry is near zero. Anybody can come in and learn, right? So it's no wonder it's going to be commoditized. And guys, there is a dynamic. So Prithvi, I'm not sure where you're based. Maybe you're here in the US, maybe you're in India, but in my statistics, I mean, US used to be like way high in number of subscribers and stuff, and now India's caught up. Now I can't see China. I can't see what's going on in China because they don't allow YouTube in there unless you use VPN. Now I did speak to a brilliant author inside. You know, he's based in China, has worked in the US as well, and so forth. And he wrote a book, and we were talking, and he said, hey, Power BI is here, you know, and of course you see Microsoft, you see custom, you know, so it's happening in China as well. So there's no doubt about that. It's going to be commoditized. It's going to be a race to the bottom. And right now you can command really high prices for consulting. Now I'm not sure. I don't have a crystal ball like how soon it's going to change. I don't think it's going to change soon. So I think the money you can command if you have Power BI skills is going to stay high for maybe even a few years, right? Maybe even 5 years, right? So yeah. So I know in US, if you like really know what you're doing, you're gonna might be able to get by in 2 to 5 years. But of course, as the time goes by, you would see increasing pressure on that. I mean, people just say, hey, I can hire somebody, you know, kind of outside for a fraction of that cost. Why would I pay you? And of course, that's a balance. There's a trade-off. It's like, hey, there's advantages of working locally, nearshoring, that sort of stuff. But there's going to be some pressure there. So this is what my advice to my students is. And where did that thing go? And this is what we've been working through with this whole kind of the course and the Pro and the Pro Plus. And that was, frankly, kind of the premise of this Pro Plus program, that to make you not just immune to this, but get you to the point where you welcome this change, where it's a good thing for you. It's good news for you that the tech is being commoditized, right? So you're still focused on Power BI, but you're at a level where not only does it not touch you, but it plays to your advantage. So a few things there that I advise my students is right. So the first thing, so you know what, I'll show you really quick. So the Pro Plus, it was a beta, so some brave folks joined, and there was nothing there, right? I told them up front, like, hey, there's no content, but now there is a little bit of content there. And the first module that I published was on social presence. So I really believe in that. And yeah, so this is the stuff that's there. Is right now we have kind of social presence, and this one, well, is a backward path to success. Ignore that. So social presence. So I think in this day and age, anybody, doesn't matter if you're going to be a consultant, full-time employee, you're going to be in far more advantageous position if you have a social presence. It's just incredible, folks, right? It's the one thing that can make everything else easier, right? So so I really believe in that. So you establish social presence, and the next module that I've promised my Pro Plus group, this 6 Figures folks, is we're going to focus on defining a niche. Now, there's going to be some content, but inside the small group, there's just 10 of us, we're also going to kind of help each other out. So we'll all kind of share that, hey, this is my niche that I'm targeting, and what do you think? And how should the messaging be, and so forth, right? So when it comes to niche, the advice that I give is you don't just find your niche, you find the niche of a niche of a niche. And the example that I always use is of a very successful kind of professional who set up a business, and the way she started. So I love it because this has nothing to do with Power BI. So she was in dog training, right? How many dog trainers are there? Lots of them. Lots of dog trainers, and pretty soon, if not already, there are lots of people, my friend, who know Power BI. It's not a differentiator. It's a table stakes. That's the way of getting in. That's it, right? So dog training, extremely competitive. But she said, you know what? I'm only going to focus on dogs who are training for competitions. Now, we just got a dog, so now we're more dog aware. I don't know what it's called, the dog show. There's like competition, animal competition. It's big. It's huge. It's on television and everything. So I'm only going to focus on dogs who take part in competition. And then I'm only going to focus on one skill, which is to walk alongside. I think it's called handler, right? The dog, the trainer who walks alongside. That's it. That's what I'm going to focus on. If you need that, that is me. That's how you rise and shine. You stake a space and you freaking own it. You're the boss, right? So and of course we have some in the making in our program. Now so let's see if I can do this right. So the person is Matt Jones, accountingpower.com.au. All right, and Matt is saying that, well, so this is it's not quite the same example of that, but it is pretty specific. Power BI. So this is what Matt is saying. Hey, I'm on accounting power. I want to make sure I get his site right. So he's in the Pro Plus program, and let's see if we can find him. Accountingpower.com.au. Under construction, I guess. Let's see. He has other site. We'll have you connect with him. Oh gosh, no, that's not it. Power. Okay. Coming soon, my friends. I think I'm not getting his right site. So anyway, so MYOB is finance software. It's actually pretty popular. It's, I think, one of the most popular ones in Australia, and this is similar to QuickBooks and things like that, right? So think QuickBooks Australia version, their own company, and MYOB. By the way, I love that acronym. It stands for Mind Your Own Business. That's so cheeky. Mind Your Own Business. And Matt has a great story about getting in trouble because of this acronym. So right, he's gonna stake that out. And if you need help, if you're using MYOB and need Power BI help, it's gonna be Matt Jones. So you establish a niche, and in that, what's implied is you combine business plus tech. You have to do that. I mean, unless you want to ride this roller coaster of tech. So if you've been in tech for many years, you've probably seen this, right? I mean, one tool comes up and everybody jumps on it, and it's like exciting, and maybe you can, kind of do great, and then it kind of And then another tool comes up, and this whole roller coaster ride, up and down and up and down and up and down. You can do that all their life, and believe me, when I talk to people who are like in the later stages of the career, and it's freaking tiring. It's like you keep walking up one sand dune to the next, one sand dune to the next, and there's a way to sidestep that, where you're not riding these waves, you're kind of floating above that, and it does affect you, but not that much, and not that you wouldn't move on to new tech, you would, but again, it doesn't impact you that way. So when I was working inside Microsoft, I was working in Microsoft Commerce team. Commerce, a payment platform, whatever, right? Something like that. So, and it was a whole new world for me. And if anybody has worked in this industry, there's like, you got to figure out really how credit card works. Like what happens when you swipe, what's happening in the back end, who's talking to what bank and done, what the error codes mean and all that stuff. How are debit card transactions submitted? It's a lot of like arcane knowledge. And I learned it all. I like, just like drank it all up. It was so awesome. And then I combined that with my analytical skills. And, I started off in kind of Excel and SQL and other stuff, maybe a little bit, but then I moved on to Power BI. But again, technology was just a means to an end. What I was focused on was this. Now, of course, I have left my roots. I have become what I tell my students never to become. I have become kind of a generalist.
Patricia's picking Kalula up this weekend. Why?
Tell her, that she signed up for waitlist. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be okay. All right. Cool. So so I've become a generalist. So don't do as I say, and don't do as I do. Do as I say. Right. So if you have this, nobody can move you. I challenge you. Go on out there. Go ahead. Go try to learn the intricacies of the payment platform. The barrier to entry is incredibly high. The only way to learn this is to get a job in there, and to get a job in there is chicken and egg. I mean, if you haven't worked in a payment industry, it's hard to kind of get in, right? Barrier to entry compared to this is sky high. It cannot be compared, right? So if you become this, you're untouchable. It's something. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome. Now, of course, what I talked about was not just being untouchable, but actually taking advantage of this move. And that's where I see the folks who are in this Pro Plus programs, because this is what they're going to do. They're not going to be like a one-man shop. Now, of course, for me, I have chosen a path. I fell in love with the word solopreneur, right? So entrepreneur, but solo. And again, solo doesn't mean solo. I do have a team working for me, but I don't imagine like a company of 300 or 400 people. I'm like a small, compact team, and they're all doing kind of back-end support, right? So they're supporting me with email, with social media, video editing, all of that sort of stuff. So that I outsource to that layer, and I look to teach that as well in this Pro Plus program, the Six Figures one, right? But they're not gonna do what I'm doing. Most of them are at some point, now or later, they're going to set up their own companies. And they're going to welcome this because, and I don't want to make it sound crude, but for them, it's cheap labor, right? Like, hey, bring it on. I love the fact that I can hire people in outside of the U.S. at a fraction of the cost and have them be working on projects. I can go meet with clients here, and I'm going to have my business niche. I'm going to meet with folks, companies who are using MYOB, talk to them about Power BI, sell that to them. But then I have somebody for a fraction of the cost who's going to implement the solution. I don't need to do that. I can focus on a bigger picture. I can be the CEO of my company and my life. So here's the thing, my friend, right? So even if you never have plans to run your own company, you should still think like a CEO. Right? You've probably heard that from elsewhere too. You should be the CEO of your life. And I'll admit, I don't think I ever was. I just let things happen to me. All right, cool. So Power BI, I mean, so from the tech worker perspective, it's we know where it's headed, And well, there's actually, I wouldn't say coding. There's DAX formulas. This is coding. It's really light. So I don't think that comment applies. I mean, coding, when I think of heavy, like Visual Studio, C Sharp, SQL can be pretty long too. So it's just, it has its own learning curve, but there's no coding involved. But tech, we know exactly where that's headed. Now, overall, if you look at Power BI, not from that tech worker perspective, it's by all means, it's on fire. It's exploding. I mean, how many companies do I hear daily through the MVP network? Like, hey, this company is moving from this tool to Power BI. They're moving from that tool to Power BI, and right. So, and of course, the latest Gartner report came out, and I think Microsoft moved a few spaces even at the top. So, let's see, Gartner Power BI. 2019, 18, I don't know what, 2019, yeah, there we go. So, and of course, when I meet with Microsoft MVPs across the world, and there's going to be a MVP summit in March, I usually just ask them one question, which is, how is Power BI doing in your country? And all over the world, now of course the pace of adoption is different in different countries, but it's like growing at an incredible pace. What was I going to say there? Yeah, in fact, it was funny. I mean, last Microsoft Summit, the reports were so positive that I had to change my question, or I had a follow-up question. So I would ask, hey, how's it going? And then they would say, dup, it's going great, something like that, some fire, whatever. And then I would say, well, what ways can Microsoft fail at this point, right? Is there a way that they can possibly fail? And it's a good question to ask, by the way. I would love to hear what you guys think. Like, Microsoft, positioned for success, but you should never be too confident. So there are still ways, I think, that they can fail. Again, they're not probable. They're extremely improbable, but there's still ways that they can fail. So if you have any thoughts, I would love to hear on that. I would love to hear about that. But yeah, I mean, mostly people didn't have an answer for that. I do have some thoughts, but I'll keep them to myself. All right, for now, we've spent enough time on this. All right, cool. So awesome. Let's switch back and let's check in on phone again. And so we still have folks hanging out. So we have Carl, we have Geert. Hey, Carl, good to see you here, my friend. We haven't talked in a while. Heather, Jeff, Steve, and Zach. Do you have any question for me before we switch back to that?
Yeah. Hey, Avi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Zach, how you doing?
Hey, this is Zach. Yeah. So I have a question. And I'm new to Power BI recently. I stumbled across you last week, and first of all, I just want to say your energy and your passion is absolutely amazing. I'm loving it. So thank you for what you're doing.
Great.
The question is, so within our group, we have a data mart that's kind of designed around a snowflake model.
Mm-hmm.
And while we have all the underlying fact tables and dimensions there, what we expose to our developers are kind of pre-built views, right? So in those views, the fact tables are already joined to the dimensions. And I'm wondering, what are the implications, if any, for them to import those into Power BI and model based on that?
Yeah, so I'm glad I have one of these models open. So, this is a pretty classic approach, and it worked great in the old world because mostly people were consuming it in Excel. And if you gave them kind of the star schema, they had to work extra hard to flatten it. I mean, that's the first thing you did in Excel. You flattened everything. So you just gave them pre-built views, and it was easy. But in the new world, this is actually a problem because flat is not good. In fact, you need the opposite of flat. You need the star schema. So usually, when I'm talking to business users, and sometimes they're in a position where they don't, they're not on. There's not that much communication going on between IT and that. So they just say, hey, this is all I get. I get a flattened view. Then I teach them, and of course it's in the course as well, that how to take a flat table and how to unflatten it, how to create lookup tables. So if they were talking to me, that's what I would tell them. I was like, no, don't use flat tables. It's kind of tempting, and it'll get you so far, and it'll feel like a quick start, but that's not the way to build Power BI. So you gotta unflatten it. So I don't know. I mean, it's okay. So of course you have kind of three choices here, right? So one, users just use flat table, and they're not that effective, right? So and we can talk about why. I'll be happy to talk about why. I mean, we covered in the course, but you know, we can kind of cover the highlights here. Not very effective. So that's the challenge there. And then users unflatten. This is reasonably okay, reasonably good. They have to spend some extra effort, right? They have to understand how to do this. They have to learn how to do this. And also has some, I'm not sure minor, but it has some drawbacks, and we can talk about that too. Or the third option is, of course, you allow them access to star schema. Now this has drawbacks too. I actually can't believe I'm saying that, but it's funny how when you start evaluating options, you have to kind of consider it. So this one, for people who are used to this old world, this would still require some teaching. So, you know, and actually, obviously, this requires some teaching as well. So those are your options, my friend. Which one do you think we should expand upon? Which one sounds good to you?
No, I mean, I've asked a few people, and I've kind of gotten the same responses. And I really just wasn't sure of, like, I understand it's not best practice. I wasn't sure if there would be like DAX implications with aggregations, or cardinality, not understanding it. So
Yeah.
I think what we would ultimately end up with is just, because while we don't want to give them direct access to the tables, we would just go ahead and model views on the base tables and then let them build it out. But
yeah, that's right. So so here the teaching that I was talking about, because most users only know how to use fact tables, so they would need to understand kind of the and I'll use the terms that I use, like data and lookup tables. They would need to understand that. So the implications, let's see. So the biggest implication, right? The biggest one, and the one that's usually the easiest to understand, at least for me, is when you bring in another data table. And if you're working data warehousing, you'll get it immediately. But I'll speak a little bit to the rest of the audience too. So imagine you start off looking just at sales, and if you use one flat table, you're okay. You're fine. It's not going to be that much of a difference. It does become hard to write some DAX formulas. It does become hard to do time intelligence, because imagine if your data set has missing days. Missing days is like a no-no for calendar tables. So basically, you don't have a calendar table. So but it's okay. Maybe you have one flat table, and then you do teach them at least the calendar table, so they have that, and at least that's working. So it generally works. There's some implications of DAX time intelligence where you get into trouble. But the biggest trouble that happens is when you bring in any other data table. So here I have budget, but it could be anything, right? So I'm like, I got sales, but then maybe I have my marketing costs, or I have kind of the call center report, or any other part of your business. If you bring that into your model and say, hey, this is relevant, and usually when you bring it to the same model, you do want to focus on both of the metrics, but you also want to see them kind of side by side, right? So kind of sales, budget, I want to see them side by side. Maybe write measures which are across those tables, right? So how many support calls do we get for per 1,000 units of products we sell? Something like that, right? So again, I mean, something like that becomes, I think that one is like impossible with flat tables. You have to work really, really hard. And on the contrast, if you have lookup tables, it's as easy as plug and play. You bring in the new lookup table, and then you say, this one I'm going to hook up to the product and hook up to calendar. Good to go. 2 thumbs up. That's it, right? So you drag and drop, create relationships. So that's where it really shines. So long term, certainly that's the way to go. But if you go on this path, what I would expect is that most users, they're used to this world, to a flat thing. So you do give them pre-built views, flat, and say, hey, the same thing you were doing there, now you can do it in Power BI. But then stay tuned to like who's using how much and who seems more savvy. Maybe do a brown bag and say, hey folks, we want to talk to you about a little bit more how you can do what you can do with Power BI, and then just show them that, hey, there's one way to do it, kind of pre-built flat table, and that's great. But we also have these new views to to the data and lookup tables. And this is how you pull it in. It's actually kind of really cool and easy. All you have to do is pull those tables in, then you can just drag and drop and create relationships. How easy is that? And then show them a few things which will blow them away. And I think the easiest example is going to be showing something with the calendar table and time intelligence. Like, oh, here's how you do year over year. Yep, you say same period last year. It's simple formula, and it is like, what? Right? So that's how I would introduce it to them, and then just see how they take that up.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right. Awesome. Hey, tell me a bit about where do you work?
Yeah, I work in retail. I work for Macy's.
Okay.
Yeah. Historically, SQL developer. That I'm more on the data side, and now moving into Power BI.
All right. Great. And do you use the custom calendar we've been talking about, 445? I mean, it's
we use the 454.
454.
So yeah.
Ooh, that's fun. I mean, I love that, and I love the fact that it's well, I mean, it's so easy to do it in Power BI. So great.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Cool.
All right, man. Thanks for that. Great question. Let's switch back to YouTube, and we do have Thomas Mall. Did I get it right? Yeah. Hanging on, hopefully. Steve, did you see anything else interesting on YouTube?
Well, there was a lot of side conversations going on there. I can tell you that.
That's awesome. All right. Perfect. That's great, my friend. So, Thomas, let's have you. Oh wow, we're already an hour and a half into it. Let's open up the phone lines. And so you guys can call in. And if you have joined if you've gone to talkpowerbi.com and joined the Insiders Club, well, I'll just post the link here, but I request that this is, for the folks who've joined. Let me see if it works. Hey, Monty, no, you didn't miss a thing. Well, no, hey, yeah, I mean, there have been some good discussions on the future of Power BI. That was my favorite. Steve brought up the contains function, which we grappled with, and some other fun discussions. So that's kind of the recap. So let's see. I do want to talk to kind of Thomas, but others can join it too. I guess if you have a question that you would want to talk to me, and maybe share your screen and show me stuff. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to bring up the example that we have from our course. Where do we talk about maps? Hold on. Not here. So I want to bring up the part where we talk about maps. So in the course, I talked about the 20% of the core concepts, which get you 80% of the results. And I really feel that the strength of Power BI is under the hood. It's the query editor, it's the DAX, it's awesome. Gives you that's where the focus should be. And people sometimes get lost in visuals. They start comparing Power BI with Tableau, and I'm like, if you want to compare apples and oranges, go ahead. Tableau is a visualization tool. You can use Power BI as a modeling tool and use any visualization tool of your choice. Tableau, Power BI, Excel, something else. Okay, cool. So let me find the map. Yeah, there we go. So let's see what we have over here. So yeah, this was all right. Pretty let's talk cool. About map. Don't want to hear me, but I wanted to see. We had, and I'll probably open the file as well. So this was at a state level, and gosh, that's a horrible visual pie charts. Don't worry. This is at the address level. I'm going to pause that here, so you can see that. Yeah, it can use kind of mapping at pretty address specific. So let's see if Thomas was able to join.
I am on.
Awesome. So Thomas, why don't you first tell me a bit about yourself?
Sure. I work for Goodwill Keystone area. I've been with the company for about 11 years.
God. We have
in the information technology. Yeah,
we
did
spoken.
talk.
Okay, great, awesome. All right, great. All right, go ahead.
So basically, what I'm trying to do is we're trying to do a sales analysis by zip code. We do a report per our locations for each one of our stores, and trying to basically help our retail team analyze where we can, maybe target some additional marketing material for certain zip codes. And I was able to plot all of our sales by zip code on the map, which is awesome. It's basically drag and drop. Power BI enables that. The question, though, that I'm getting that has been raised because this map has been generated manually up to this point is how to add an automated additional pin to show where the store is located. That's kind of a challenge point that I'm struggling with. I've been able to add a different hierarchy level that you can flip between. So it flips between showing where the address is at versus the zip code study, but I can't get it to show in both just in one shot where it's just a pin or just one little dot that's a different color.
Got it. So are you using the inbuilt visual? Or
yes, the maps visual.
Okay, got it. Have you tried the other inbuilt one, which is the ArcGIS one?
I think I did, and that actually what it does is instead of doing a bubble map, it does it kind of fills in the zip code areas on the map, and it's so hard to see where the zip codes are on that map because it all kind of blends in on the report.
Okay,
I did try that one, but then I guess you can't put labels on that, or I'm struggling with putting labels on that map. But maybe you can show me some tips.
Yeah, I have hopes there. And then there is another custom visual by, I think it's Mapbox, which, man, I've talked to those people. I've seen the demo. It's really incredible. I'm not sure. So, of course, most of these custom visuals are moving towards like a freemium model, right? I mean, kind of the same as the App Store and so forth. So I think ArcGIS may also have a freemium model. Mapbox, I think, certainly does. So, but that's I mean, often they give you a great starting point. So I'm hoping that between ArcGIS and that, they have a lot more kind of stuff in there. So let me pull up the mapping thing that we have. So that one was 05. And let me see what we have. Or maybe we can do it. Alright, while that's bringing up, I'm gonna close this one and open Learn Power BI. And we'll open this guy. Ooh. I mean, I like it because it's certainly a legitimate ask. It makes sense. Requirement. So are you showing sales or some number by zip code, right?
Yeah, I'm actually the one study I'm looking at is just sales like number, not actually like dollar amount, but just like how many sales are being generated by that particular zip code.
Got it. And then layer with pin showing location. Location of store. Let's try this guy. Mm. Okay, let's see if we can. Here's ArcGIS, got it. And we'll say, give me, do I have, I think I do have like order count. Order count. Location. And man, I hope I have zip code. State. Oh, dang it. I have a state code. Maybe that would still. I mean, let's see if we can kind of do 2 layers.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so it's filling it in. How do we say don't fill it in? Base map. Each time I have the symbol style. Represent location as points. Ooh, nice. Okay, so we got bubbles. Yay! We got bubbles for this. Good. And now what if we add, can we add, how do we add like a layer? Oh, this is reference layer. What about pins? Man, let's see. Where's my? Oh, this was full screen. This is my browser. So Power BI ArcGIS add layer. Maybe if this doesn't work, we'll look at add a reference layer. Yeah, so this is the thing about premium. I don't know if it is kind of paid only. Let's see what it is. No, but this is not what I want. Add a layer. I want to add my own layer. Steve, if you're still on, if you see something, some help from YouTube, let me know. Location, latitude, size, time, tooltips, yeah. Base map, location type, map theme, symbol style. It does have layers. I feel I'm just not able to figure out how to. I mean, they're using these terms, right? I mean, you can make one layer transparent. I'm just not able to figure out how do I add a layer. Or maybe you can only do like stuff that they talk about. Not fun. Location order tooltips. Okay, let's see if Mapbox. Yeah, well, maybe this one doesn't have an option. Check out Mapbox.
Mapbox.
And see how that works. Hey, if that does work, I would love to kind of hear back from you. Mapbox visual.
Sure.
And we'll see. Maybe I'll play with it on the side and see how that goes.
Yeah, I'll play with it as well and let you know.
Okay, let's try customer state code. And oh gosh, yeah. So you gotta go through a few steps. You gotta go get a token. So give that a try.
Sure.
From the demo that I saw, it was definitely really incredible. I mean, these guys are serious about mapping, you know. So I have a feeling that Mapbox would have the solution for you. What I'm not sure is if it's going to be included in the free layer. I hope so, or if it's paid, then you'll just have to consider that.
Yeah, consider that for the project. Cool.
Great.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, folks. That was Thomas Mall from Goodwill. Thomas, where did you say? Which area were you in?
Pennsylvania. So central Pennsylvania.
Great. I'm so proud that oh wait, dang! I was gonna say I spelled it right. No, I didn't. It's not Benny. Okay, now I got it right. Thanks, autocorrect. All right, folks. So let's see. We are 1 hour 40 minutes. That's good. Gear is saying you got the ultimate calendar and the ultimate measure. Don't you have the ultimate time intelligence functions? Well, so I do cover the standard ones inside the course. The next one I'm thinking of in the ultimate series is actually the ultimate time table, because often, well, I didn't. Maybe it was 10:30. People, when you have like just a date dimension, but sometimes you need you have like a time as well. So you're like, oh, 12:31, 6 a.m., 6:02, 6:09, whatever, something like that, 6:09 and 30 seconds. How do you handle that? So that's the next one planned there. But yeah, it's time intelligence functions. Some of the standard ones are covered inside the course and in my book as well. Sean, hello, good to see you here. I create a measure that gets, why did he say the shoes when I place this on a line chart? Hey, I thought we solved this. Man, we built the ultimate measure for you. If you're still stuck, Sean, why don't you dial in as well, and we can see if we can work through that example. So use the same Zoom link that I pasted up, which was Sean. And if you're on right now, and if you have a question that you would like to talk to me about, you can call. But I'm going to read the question again slowly. Hopefully Sean can join. 10:42, Sean. So hey, my friends, Sean is a person who's, he's co-creator with the ultimate DAX measure. So let's go to our videos here. And that was a fun experience, and it was created live in one of these Talk Power BI, and we created it. And and again, to teach it to learn twice, I think I have used the concept before, but doing it and with Sean that day, I realized kind of its worth. So Sean had, jokingly named it the God measure. I didn't go with that. I was a little scared of that, so I called it the ultimate DAX measure. But but that was born on this Talk Power BI call. So that's great. And of course, I've loved the online medium for that. Even the course and the structure and the things that we have done with our students, we have created Real Power BI. It was born with the students. I mean, I saw this. So the way Real Power BI was born, so we talked about it at the beginning of the call. Again, the idea is to bring in real businesses who submit their projects, and students kind of work on it in a class setting with all the support. That was born because most of our students are like working in a company, and they're trying to use Power BI and getting stuck, and that's where the course and the community and all the support comes to their help. But there were some folks who were some who were students, right? I mean, they're in college, and some who were between jobs who didn't have the opportunity to apply it anywhere. And if I believe that learning comes from doing, and I do, I was like, man, these people are missing out. Because in the course, I say, hey, this is just the videos. You don't really learn here. Watch the videos, go apply it, and that's where the real learning is, because you're going to apply, you're going to get stuck, and then you have help to get over it, and that is the real learning cycle, and you do that over and over again. But these folks didn't have any opportunity to do that. So that's why we created Real Power BI. Now, what I did not expect, not one bit, was that when we did this, not only did the folks join who were in between jobs or students who didn't have like a Real Power BI project, we had students join and actively participate who had full-time jobs, who had all the opportunity to do this at work, but they just wanted to do this in this setting. And I kind of get it. For one, you're working together with somebody else with this team, and that becomes so powerful. You're not on your own. You're like, oh yeah, I'm in this project for this month. Like March is Real Power BI month. So that one I didn't expect. So the way it has turned out is that in the students, both folks who are kind of in between jobs, who don't have the opportunity, plus folks who have a full-time job and maybe consultants and so forth, they all participate generally. So that one is pretty cool. Okay, so Sean, let's see what happened. Okay, so going to call. He's dialing in. So let me. I had promised I'm going to read his question slowly, so I'm going to do that. So hey, folks, you see me do this on the calls before. I just kind of break it step by step. I often read things aloud, even when I'm working with the clients. I'm like, okay, or I say it back to them. They say this, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to say it back to you slowly. All right, so I created a measure that gets year-to-date sales. Awesome. Issue is when I place this on a line chart, the prior years are full years instead of partial years. I want to compare partial years sales, so it's apples to apples. I have, year-to-date sales, yes. Are there two ways to solve it? Yeah.
Hi there, Avi. This is Sean.
Hey, Sean. How you doing, my friend?
Very good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to be talking to you.
Thank you for that ultimate measure. It solved my problem exactly.
Okay. All right. Great. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hey, remind me where you're based?
Sorry? Oh,
where are you based?
Yeah, in California.
All right. Awesome. Oh yeah, of course. I remember from the video. The sunny state of California. That's how I started it. Okay, great. So I get your problem. Let me see if I can kind of recreate it or not. So let's say sales versus budget. Let's do it. Let's do it over here. All right, so I know you mentioned a line chart, but often when I'm debugging things, I just use a list
table
or a matrix. Yeah, it's just and I take whatever visual I'm working on and I just copy that, convert it to a list, and kind of keep it simple. So let's see if we have kind of sales. Perfect. So let's add sales over there. We don't have sales prior year. Let me add that really quick. New measure. And so this is the typical measure for sales prior year. Prior year, you say calculate sales, and what happened here? Sales, and you say same period last year. Calendar. Calendar date. Okay, so let's go over here. Okay, so we got that. Let's focus on a single year. So I'm going to add a slicer. Oops. And let's see what we have data for 2017, 2016. Okay. And we have sales prior year. I realize I should format it. Okay, so we have that, and let's try 2015. How does that look like? Okay, that's a little bit better. Come on. Oops. Oh, I should. Hold on, guys. So, hey, go to meeting. I'm gonna turn the screen sharing off and turn it on for Sean over here. This one. Okay. So let's see this by month. Yeah, so let's say that we were in the middle of year. We go back in time 2015, and we don't have data for some months. So in the line chart, are you showing like at a year level? What's on the axis there?
Yes, at a year level.
Got it. So yeah, so this would only have, depending on where you're in the month, it could only have like 6 months or something, but the prior year would have the complete year. I think hold on, let me get to my calendar table and see if I can simulate that we're back in 2015. I hope I left that in there. There was something that I left in there to simulate that. Oh, current date. Awesome. Yes. So we're going to go back in time. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're not seeing your screen.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I had to turn it off on GoTo Meeting. You know what? Maybe I can turn it back on. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so yeah. Oh, hopefully the bandwidth would hold up. I'm going to keep an eye on YouTube. Okay, say stream status, good. All right, so we have current date, and I'm going to pretend that we are in 2015 sometime. Let's say 2015. Let's go with September. Current date is 9/1. Let's go with that. Oh, wait, did I get that right? Oh, 2015. I didn't get that right. How would you say the same? Oh man, this one is. So how many years of data are you showing on the line chart?
That's right, on a line chart. And
Yeah.
the problem is that the year-to-date one, the most recent one, looks very low because it's a partial year, and then all the periods before that are much higher.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And I tried like same time. I tried some of those DAX functions like parallel.
Yeah. Actually,
Same time last year.
yeah, I would like you to share your screen really quick. If you can show me that visual.
Oh my God, I really wish I could. I was just at a
Okay,
at a
no
client
worries.
meeting, and I'm not equipped with it. But
Okay.
next time
No
I'll
worries.
be
I
prepared.
just want to make sure. So, what does your line chart look like? Let me try to create something here.
Yeah, like I actually sent you an email on it a few days ago, but I can send you like a screenshot to a link.
Okay. Did that email had a screenshot? I can look for that.
Yeah, yes, it does.
Okay, awesome. Oh gosh, that's great. Thanks for doing that. But meanwhile, I'll do something like this, and yeah, I'm trying to see kind of sales and sales prior year, and let's go. By year, and let's see how that looks like. And I asked because I couldn't imagine like a line chart, but let me see. So, and how many years of data do you have? Do you have like, I don't know, 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so because I mean, yeah, the kind of scenario you're talking about, it would make sense for like a larger time frame. Here I have 3 years, so it looks kind of really weird. But do you have something like this where it shows kind of current year and then shows prior year? Or frankly, I think it would look better probably.
Just current year. Yeah, just current year. But it does look like that. So just without the sales prior year, because really all I have is that one measure, and I want to show partial for each year.
Okay, got it. But I'm confused when you said line chart. So this is a line chart, and if I only do current year, it would look. I think it'll have like two dots on it.
So if you put.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, I could be using the wrong terminology, but.
Okay, no worries. We'll figure it out. And I'm also multitasking, trying to pull up the. Come on, your email. Okay, got it. And oh, there you go. Perfect. Oh, I see. Oh gosh. I got it. So you're got it. I'm glad I pulled this up. So you're saying, hey, I want to compare year-to-date sales, and hey, I mean, really minor, but part of me is feels like it's better as a bar chart, you know.
Yeah, the reason why I chose line chart is because it's like, you know, years or time is a continuous variable. Like, you know, I normally use bar charts for categorical things.
Yeah, I mean, it fits
but I know
the
what
rule.
you mean, though.
Yeah. So so I'm like a Stephen Few disciple, and let's see. So
yeah, I love Stephen Few as well.
Oh gosh, yeah. So from what I understood, that from his stuff is that line focuses on the trend, whereas if you do like a column or bar chart, it focuses on kind of the values. And I don't know, for me, I have a hard time thinking of like year to date as a trend. You know, like total year sales, somehow I see that. But year to date, I feel like it's like more like, how does this value compare to that value? You know, where we were. Anyway, so that's a minor thing.
Yeah.
But
let me just give you a little bit more background. So
yeah,
it's a seasonal business. So they have much more sales during a certain number of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when they want to compare trends year over year, they have to look at the same amount of months year over year to see the trend.
Makes
so
sense.
For example, within the season, are we selling more over time.
Yeah, yeah, no, totally makes sense. So folks, you know, we would just sit there just for a little bit. So what Sean said, that the business is seasonal, right? So imagine like a retail, you know, we were talking to Thomas earlier, Macy's, they always have big sales during December and I don't know, maybe back to school. So, and every single year you would see the same pattern. In that case, your comparisons should be year over year. It's simple, right? So if it's kind of a seasonality, then focus on kind of year over year. But not all businesses are like that. So imagine, you know, the growth of Slack. That was not seasonal. That is kind of over time. So what you do there is you usually compare the prior period, right? So then you would say, oh, you know, we're looking at 2019. How do we compare with 2018? Or we're looking at 2019 February. How does that compare? And you're not going to go prior year because that doesn't make sense. You're going to go -1. Like in January, we grew by 100,000 companies, well, 10,000 companies. In February, we grew by 12,000 companies, right? So you compare kind of the immediate prior period, right? So that's if it's not seasonal, if it's then you just use different metrics. So here, I kind of get it now. That we're trying to say that year to date for all prior years. Oh, this is awesome. So we got this. So let me go back here and fudge with my table as well. AdventureWorks. I love this data set. I have to. So we have 3 years of data, so we'll work with that. And what we're going to do is actually change that and give me a little bit more room. So I'm going to change the fictional current date, 2016, because that's the latest data that we have. So I'm going to come back here, and we're going to say
Hey, I was just thinking out loud in terms of simulation. Would it work if you changed your system time back, forward, and backwards?
No, it could work. Yes. So the way I'm hacking in here is I'm just kind of overriding it. So hold on, I'll show you the function there. It might work, but I'm afraid I'll forget to change it back. So the default in here was that datetime fix local now. I would assume it picks up your system clock, unless maybe it, like, you know, beams ET or, you know, goes to some system to figure that out. So yeah, that would have worked too. Yeah, but you know, I just kind of hacked it. So yeah, so either would have been fine. So great. So we got that, and we're gonna close and apply. So 2016 November, we're there right now, and absolutely we got it. So let's do calendar table. I'm waiting for it. Awesome. And we can go back to page 2, and what we would do is actually I wouldn't use sales prior year. What I would do is just show me sales, and I would say by year, and we'll select all 3 years. Come on, did it work? Okay, perfect. And I'm going to turn off the total here really quick. So folks, if you're watching, I mean, hopefully you also seeing how I approach it, and again, if you've seen me before in Doc Power BI, I approach it like really small, step by step. And I have this concept which I think is covered inside the course, but I think it's like a simple concept, so I think I can share on YouTube too. I should like do a separate video of this concept of the 3. I used to call them pivots. You can call them tables if you want. I call them pivots because I started off using Power BI inside Excel. So I had this idea of a working pivot and a debug pivot and a reporting pivot. So when I'm starting to write a DAX measure, this is my working pivot. This has nothing to do with how it's going to be displayed in the end. This is just me trying to be able to figure it out, to see what kind of what's in the data, what's working, right? So this is my working pivot, and then there would be a reporting pivot, which will make look something like this, you know, and then debug pivot. I don't use it all the time, but you know what that is. If I get into trouble, then that's like a different pivot. It has different rules. I use it differently. So this one is a working pivot. So you see, I'm just positioning this, just kind of see the data. Like, okay, see what's going on. And what we're gonna do is maybe I should go back to the edit queries, but I won't. We'll just kind of hack it here. Actually, should I go to the edit queries? We'll go back to it if we have to. For now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take kind of month year and actually put that, and again I'm trying to pretend that we don't have data for October and that sort of stuff. So we'll get say select all, and we say don't show me kind of October, November, December, something like that. Maybe so September, we said the current date is September 1, so we don't have data for September either. You know what? I realized we should have done, just 1 second, maybe the end of the month, just to make it cleaner. I think we're probably going to be okay. Let's just do end of the month. It'll work obviously on any day, but it's easier to see this and debug and check. So we're going to say 2016 August 31. I had to do that thing on my knuckles to see if it had 30 or 31. All right, cool. So we got this. All right, so we don't have data, so we're at the end of August, and now let's do the year to date. Oh gosh, yeah. So actually you're not really using prior year. You're just using year to date. Okay, cool. So let's do sales year to date. Year to date, do I have it? No, I don't. No worries. We'll define it. And we're going to say sales new measure. And we'll say sales year to date equals calculate to sales dates year to date and calendar date. One more. Okay, let's try. I don't want month, and I actually don't want sales either. Okay, got it. And if we do this as a chart as well. All right, actually, you know what? I did need totals. Total column. I guess not. So again, so you see again, kind of step by step, and frankly, that's the only way I know how to work. So see the problem here. For 2016, we have only data till August, and it's like 9556. And 2016 happened to be a bumper year for adventure work, so it doesn't look as bad. But if we hadn't, then this would look pathetic. It would be like 4 million or 3 million. It would be unfair. Whereas this number has the full year. You can see that, right? 5762, and the same thing with this guy, 7072. It's got the full year. So we don't want to do that. So the simplest way for this is the calendar table. And we're going to go to page 3, just examine our calendar table. And we'll say, let's see, maybe a matrix. Oh, actually, this is going to be fun. So we add year. We add month, I think, and we add, what is it, future date. Oh, okay. Oh boy, actually, this is not gonna work. So dates year to date in the prior year. We only want till the current day. Okay. We don't want. We only want year to date in all the prior years.
Hey, Avi.
I can just see all the DAX code running through your head right now.
Yeah.
This is kind of like what I do in maybe like a hybrid calendar. If you had a field in there that had like what day of the year it was,
Yeah.
then
Yes.
like up to say day 200 in the measure, you filter the tables
Yeah.
so that it only is less than or equal to day whatever it is, 300, 200, whatever, and then
Yeah.
it'll kind of do it, I think.
Yeah, that's true. We could use that. So let me show like a one approach which so it doesn't help what Sean is talking about, but it helps with gosh, the if somebody's just showing 2 years, and I don't quite, let's try this. So
Yes, I was able to make like last year to date work.
yeah, that's right. So that one, tell me, how were you able to make that work?
If you look at the email again,
Mm-hmm.
I have some DAX code. Basically, what I did was because mine is not fiscal.
Okay, got it. Yeah, simple calendar.
It's
That's
not
nice.
it's not a fiscal calendar, but just with that small adjustment, passed in the year to date value and then
Yeah.
to adjust for some future dates. So that one works fine.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So in usually what I do is I'm just showing last year, and I want to compare kind of just year to date. Then I use the future date a filter on my page. So you can use future date, or you can use the current month offset and say, hey, that is less than 0, something like that. And then I kind of turn that off. So let's see if it has a desired effect. So if things went right, so it is showing 9556284, which is oh, I shouldn't have synced it. So that is like till August, right? And then this is about 2 million over here. So if we remove these numbers, we should get something about 3 million, which is what we have, kind of oops, not that one, 2A. in the prior year. So this is right. I mean, so again, so the way I'm doing it is by using the future date thing here. You can use that, or you can also use current month offsets. That works if you are just doing like show me this year to date and last year to date. So that one is gonna work. Let's do this one. So yeah, I think it is gonna take some DAX. So, oh boy. Let's see. Measure. Nope. Rows. There's one option here that I was looking for. Oh, values and rows. Shown rows. Okay, cool. All right, so our goal is to this number not be this big total, but be this number. Okay, got it.
That's correct.
All right, so let's do. So what I want is to be able to go to the current table, to the latest year, and figure out the latest day, right? Oh gosh, yeah, I don't know. So Steve, yeah, I think you're spot on. And he said, I'm not sure if I have a day of the year. Wow.
Yeah, that's in that ISO calendar that I was using.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can.
Let me think. So
There might.
You know what? Let's solve it at the month level for now. But I think the day is going to have the same logic. Sean, do you think that's going to work?
Yeah, month level should be the same idea.
So, yeah, exactly, right? So we'll figure out what is like how many months in the latest year, and then we'll go from there. So okay, let me think. So let's do a separate folder for this. Just to keep my measures here. Year to date, just for that. Okay, so let's go step by step, and we're gonna say modeling, new measure. I want to first figure out. So I'm looking at 2015, 2014, but all I care about is the current year. How would we do that? We'll just go to the calendar table. So we'll go here and we'll say current year value equals calculate, and I'll say what do I want to calculate? Calculate values of calendar year. So give me the calendar year where this is gonna need a filter. Oh, you can use a variable. Okay, let's just start like really simple. Max. Hold on. Max of calendar year offset. Okay, I think we got this. So max all calendar years. Okay, got it. Change that. Values calendar year. Oh shoot. Let's just do calendar current year offset equals 0. I think that's going to work. All right, so I'm going to add that over here. Okay, so it didn't work for these ones because they're already filtered. So I know what I need to do. I just need to say calculate values calendar year. Maybe I need to do like an calculate values. Maybe, oh gosh, so what if I say, let me try it. I may not get it right the first time. Oh, that didn't work at all. I'm not happy. What if you use filter max calendar year? Okay, there might be a more elegant way to do it. I'll just go to the hammer. So what if we say max? Man, this is so simple. All right, what if we say filter all calendar? So go to all calendar and then all calendar year. Boy.
Avi, would it be like calendar month, like less than or equal to max calendar month?
You know, I don't know, man. Maybe my powers fade near the end of the call or something. It's something really easy, but I'm not getting it. All I need to do is, I mean, I got the value of the year, but I just want to say that, you know, don't worry about the year filter, right? I want to clear this guy when I'm calculating this measure. That's all I'm trying to do. I want to clear this. That's it. So now the way to do that is all calculate values calendar year. So I want to clear that filter. How would I do that? Maybe let me try this. So I want that whole thing to operate outside of. You know what? Let's just do one more step. So what about we do this? So current year value, step 1. Okay, I do that sometimes. Oh boy, I mean, if this works, this was so easy with staring in my face, and I use this pattern a heck of a lot. So step 1, and then we'll do step 2. Actually, we won't do step 2. We'll do like the final one. So we'll say now it's for real. And so we already had something working, and we want to calculate the same thing but disrespecting the filter. So we'll say, yep, go calculate that. Go whatever I told you to calculate, but this time don't respect the calendar filter. All right, so I'm feeling good about this. And all right, so step 1 was that. And now let's add this guy, and oh shoot, it didn't work. Calculate that all calendar. So why didn't it work? Values calendar, all calendar. Oh man. All right. It's I'm gonna have to take this offline, Sean. I think it's definitely solvable. And yeah, the approach is gonna be uh, as Steve described. We'll go to the current year and we'll say I wanna keep the same dates and go back. But yeah, sometimes
So,
on
hey,
a live call we kind
Avi,
of lose it. Yeah.
I just kind of looked at the query editor. It looks like there's a function to create a day of the year, add a new column based on the date
Yeah. I would
right there
still
for you.
Yeah, but I would still need to get past this hurdle. So basically, what I want is I want this number to return 2016, 2016, and then I can go build that next step where it says, hey, what is the max date in that one? Yeah. So Sean, that's good, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to progress on the live call today. But I'll get back to you on this one.
Yeah, you can do it.
All right. All right, folks. Oh, wait. I think we lost Sean on the Zoom call. Yeah, the Zoom call times out. But hopefully you got that on there. So, I don't know, folks. Stuff like this happens. So, great. Let's check in. Let's do kind of a last call on the phone. If you have anything for me. All right. Let's do like a last. I'm gonna do a last peek at the Talk Power BI. See if would a variable work. Yeah, I'll admit I think my brain is a little bit fried right now. So it's like simple. I mean, this doesn't even feel like a hard problem. I mean, sometimes I can tell like oh man, it's a meaty one, but this is like a simple thing when I can't get past it. So yeah, variables might be it. Sean, yeah, we'll tackle it. All right, folks. So we'll sign off for now, and we'll see you next week. And oh yeah, another shout out for Real Power BI. Let me kind of share that link again. So all the links are here. The only thing that's not here, and I'll talk about that. So if you go here, there's a whole video talking about Real Power BI, why it's there, and all of that stuff. It explains everything, and then you have a process to submit your project. So again, if you're a business user, could be anywhere, right? Doesn't matter. Then and you've been thinking about Power BI, you've been thinking about Power BI project. Maybe you tried to make some progress as well, got stuck. This is your opportunity to kind of submit your project, and it'll be done, in by the Learn Power BI family, right? So we'll match you up with the best students. So we'll look at the interest, the industry, and all of that sort of stuff, and we'll try to match you up with the right person. And they're gonna have, and again, when I say students, some of these are thorough professionals. They've been using Power BI. Some of them have been using it as long as me, so right. But they just want to kind of go through this experience, and yeah, of course, they're going to have all the guidance and support, not just from me, but from their peers as well. And I'm excited about bringing this group together of all the folks who are going to be working on there. So if you are in the pro level, then you can go here and sign up saying, hey, I want to work on a real Power BI project. Now, one thing that's also there in this sign up is that you can participate in it, but bring your own project. So some of our students are like, hey, I have my own project, Avi. I don't need somebody else's project. I would just like to work in this setting. Then you bring your own project and the rest works the same. The cadence is the same. We'll say, yep, first week we're doing requirements, show me what you got. Show me the first prototype. So you're going to work through the same pace. And I've shared a little more information with my students inside the group. Yeah, the other options here. Now, if you already are a student, but not in the pro level, then February 18th, we'll be sharing you information about the pro level, if you would consider that. So, but if you're not a student, frankly, I don't think we'll be able to get you into the program and also get you started on the pro level in this project. I think that's going to be like too sudden. I don't know. It's just right. So so if you're already in here, then that's great. If you are in Learn Power BI, we'll talk to you about getting to pro. But if you're not part of a community, I think the right place to start would be just to join the course and go from there and catch Real Power BI the next time we run it. Or we're gonna try to make the Real Power BI examples. So I'll show you what the pro level has. So if we go to, do I have it open? It has a kind of a recording of the last Real Power BI project, so you can use that to simulate going through. And so we have done 2 so far, and the second one isn't there yet. I have to work in the videos, but basically it gives you all the files, and it gives you oh, this should have been a video. That's weird. And then it has this recap of all the process that we went through, or we have the full recording. So if you want to experience it as a real project, something like, hey, I'm gonna replay this for me, you can go in there and you say, hey, I'm gonna download the files. I have the starting files which came in from the client, and then I'm gonna watch the first week of recording where Avi is collecting requirements, building, right, and that sort of stuff. So okay, cool. And then you stop. And then you say, okay, now I'm going to try to do something on my own. And then, oh, now I'm going to watch the second. And oh, this is what I learned from the client. So again, it's not the same, but that's an option. Yeah, that's kind of how we're approaching it right now. And big thanks to the 3 folks, at least in the morning, who had submitted their projects. And it's a little bit of it's got a few questions. Just because we want to kind of make sure that it's the right fit. So don't mind that. I mean, we are serious about it. We absolutely 100% serious about it. I'm going to be backing my students 100% on this, right? So the project we take on, I have good reason to believe that, yeah, we'll be, successful. I'm hoping we hit it out of the park. So we're serious about it. And again, if you kind of go there and submit the project, then we'll be kind of selecting the projects and working on those on our side. So March is going to be the Real Power BI month for us. So that's it. Eric, I think helped me out. So Eric, I'm going to have to look at those later. But thanks for sharing with the group. Yeah, we'll catch you next time. All right, my friends, take care.